What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel and the best place to learn how to get visible using social media and get paid at using a business strategy. Now in today's video, I want to help you streamline your workflow and give you basically the cheat sheet of top content ideas that generally perform well on Instagram Reels. And when I say perform super well, I mean increase in engagement, increase in views, and potentially even increase in reach. Every time I've mentioned Instagram Reels here on my channel, I'm often met with a lot of resistance. People saying that it takes a lot of time, and so I hope that by watching this video, I'm able to show them brainstorm time and just give you the top 5 content ideas that gently perform super well. And so if you're interested, then make sure to keep watching. Now, the first content idea that I have for you that you can use on Instagram Reels that's going to be super beneficial for your engagement, but also your sales, is calling out the top mistakes that you typically see people doing within your industry. Now, this can be something as simple as where you're just listing out the mistakes and then editing in those mistakes. Or you can actually record a video of yourself walking through or explaining the mistake yourself. Now, the reason why videos like these typically do really well is that they're very good at stopping the scroll while positioning yourself as an authority. Now, even on my YouTube channel, where thumbnails are really important for clickbait, you'll notice that a lot of my performing videos also highlight mistakes that people are making. This goes to show that a lot of people tend to want to know what mistakes they are making, how they can improve, and the gaps that they might have. And the best part is when you actually create content pieces like this, it does position you as the authority as well as you're educating other people. That's why the mistakes is a really great content piece to integrate in your Instagram Reel strategy. The second content idea that you can implement on Instagram Reels is just listing out some tips or hacks. This is also a really great way to stop the scroll because it's leaning towards being an educational piece of content, and it also encourages a lot of saves and shares, while again positioning yourself as an authority within your niche. Now, creating content that talks about tips or hacks can look like this, where you're literally talking and walking through the tip that you share. It could also look like something that you're listing out the tips, and it could be a really quick hack where you share your screen and then show a tutorial or something that's really easy to implement. These are all content pieces that tend to do really well on Instagram Reels. Now, in addition to creating educational pieces of content, like calling out the mistakes within your industry or giving some tips or advice or tutorials within your niche so that it positions you as the expert, the third content idea that I have for you is to share your transformation. Now, when it comes to editing the transformation, there are generally 2 ways that I like to do this on Instagram Reels. The first one is the easy way, where I'm filming. It's something really simple like me dancing or pointing at something, and then I'll edit in the text so that it speaks for itself in terms of the transformation that I've been through. The second way to also edit Instagram Reels to showcase your transformation really beautifully is when you actually do a compilation or you do a flashback. This requires a little bit more editing. It's basically stitching together some past videos or photos, screenshots, or whatever else to really visually show the journey that you've been on. Even though this tends to maybe take a little bit longer to edit, I do find that the payoff is well worth, because these videos tend to do really well and have a really great opportunity to go viral on Instagram Reels or even TikTok to now. Moving on to the fourth content idea that I have for you for Instagram Reels, and that is relatable, funny content. Now, relatable, funny content basically looks like you may be creating a skit where you're poking fun of yourself, or maybe you're kind of highlighting something that a lot of people within your industry struggle with but don't want to talk about enough. These are just basically funny content pieces that are relatable when people can relate to your piece of content. It encourages them to share it, to like it, to comment on it, and all of that. And my biggest advice for when it comes to finding funny pieces like this is simply scrolling through Instagram Reels, the Explore page. It's a pretty common piece of content that a lot of people do. However, my bonus tip that I would give you is, if you want to be trendy, is actually looking through TikTok. I know for me, a lot of my fun year content pieces are all from TikTok within different industries, within different niches. And I basically save the sound and try to adapt that trend to my industry, regardless of what you choose. Comedic, funny content that is relatable to other people, that tends to do pretty well. However, I do give you a word of caution while doing content like this, that even though it's entertaining and very tempting, just make sure that it's not 100% of the content that you do on Instagram Reels, because you still want to find that balance between entertaining content and educational content in order to get more sales for your business. If you have a business and you're watching this right now, because what I notice is, even though comedic skits and funny content like this tend to get a lot of likes and reach, what they don't tend to do is get you more sales. And you just want to make sure you have that balance between the two different types of content pieces, especially if you're a business owner. Now, moving on to the fifth content idea that I have for you for Instagram Reels that tends to do pretty well, especially if you do it at the right time, is reacting or sharing trends within your industry. Now, I did something similar where I basically shared an article that came out about TikTok. When it comes to hours watched on the platform, now obviously this is very unique to my industry and my niche, but I definitely struck while the iron was hot. I shared it and I green screened it, and I basically read off the article, shared it to my followers about what's going on, and asked other people what they thought about the article. This post ended up getting quite a lot of engagement, and it also kind of got more reach than my typical posts. This is just one example of what you can do. And the best part of this is that if there are trends or news within your industry that you can share to your followers, you don't necessarily need to come up with new content. You can easily just tell them what you've read and encourage social sharing, encourage engagement, and that's basically it. So this is a really low-hanging fruit opportunity that you can do, especially if you're someone who's already really savvy on the trends and tips that are within your industry. Now, in this point in the video, I shared my top 5 to-go content ideas that I personally use for Instagram Reels that has gotten me a lot of reach and engagement, and I hope that you guys are going to implement at least one of them within your Instagram Reel strategy. Make sure to comment down below and let me know which one is your favorite. Not only this, Instagram Reels is only one part of growing your Instagram account, so if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel to get more information on how to grow your Instagram. Thanks for watching, guys.